And then in terms of Tottenham, there's been talk for the best part of a year now about a potential takeover. The Guardian reported that Qatari investors are interested in a Tottenham takeover. Could that potentially propel the club back into that top bracket after they have dropped off the last couple of seasons, and financially they're not spending as much money on players and wages?
Well, clearly, if they were bought by very wealthy Qataris, then it would change everything. But I'd be sceptical about all of those stories, to be honest. They've been rumoured for many, many months. The valuation that's touted is not realistic. 3.75 billion. It was on the front page of the Sunday Times business section about 6 months ago. It didn't seem credible then, and it doesn't seem credible now, especially in a post PSR world where you have the emergence of Villa, Newcastle, the recovery of Everton, the growth of Bournemouth, Brentford, Brighton, these sorts of teams. Manchester United out of the mix, but obviously you're going to find a way to come back into the mix. Quite a risky thing to buy Spurs for 3.75 billion if that's what you did. There's no guarantee they can get in the Champions League without quite enormous spending. Of course, they've got the stadium. Of course, that's an attractive asset, but it's not enough. So I'd be sceptical about a value of 3.75 billion on Tottenham Hotspur. I'd also be sceptical that a new owner would want to keep Daniel Levy around. I suspect they would see a relatively short handover period into a new management team put in place by the new ownership. I think it would be very hard for, at 3.75 billion, Daniel Levy would walk away with hundreds of millions of pounds. And the idea that wouldn't change his outlook, I think, is unlikely. And also be spending somebody else's money. And I don't think necessarily that would be the approach that a new owner would want. But it's complete speculation. I don't really think much of the story, to be honest. I think we've got to see far more evidence of a deal even being touted. We don't even have a name of anybody that's said to be thinking of buying. Remember, if you're buying a football club for £3.75 billion, this would have to be at most a 20th of your net assets. So you're talking about somebody that's got net assets maybe of best part of 100 billion. Right now, it might be a consortium, fine, but they're saying in the article it's not state related. So which consortium's got maybe a net wealth of 100 billion that they can afford to spend best part of £4 billion on Tottenham Hotspur? I mean, it's pretty unlikely. So I could see it being, if something happens in France, there are strong rumours that there's problems in France with the Qataris and with PSG. And, if there was a fallout in France and they were looking for a new club and didn't want, outside of the French league, then of course Tottenham would be an amazing acquisition. But I don't think it would be. I think it would be via QSI as opposed to via some individuals. But again, it's just total speculation.
Of course.